More phone calls coming up. Steve Young will join us in an hour from now. Devin McCourty joins us. He was on the call last night, Giants-Patriots, and that was on Westwood One Radio. You can also catch him on Football Night in America. That'll be Sunday. They start at 7 Eastern. Texans and the Chiefs kick off at 8:20 Eastern on NBC and Peacock. If you were on Ole Miss right now and you took a team vote of keeping Lane Kiffin on as your coach in the playoffs, you would vote how?
I would vote to keep him on. I think as a young player, when I was in college, the opportunity to win a national championship, I would want everything to stay as much of the same as it could be. And I think if I was those guys, I would also be planning for what's next. Do I want to stay at Ole Miss? Do I want to leave? But here and the now, I would say, let's go win a national championship and then decide what happens next.
Yeah, but he's basically saying he can't win a national title at Ole Miss. That's why he's going to LSU. If the money is around the same and LSU has better resources, that he can't win a national title with you, even though you're going to be in the college football playoff.
But I think the hard thing is, but then who coaches you? Like those guys that are on staff, if you stay, there's no promise that the next coach that comes in is going to be able to coach you. I remember my senior year, Cincinnati makes it to a BCS bowl game. They're going to play against the Florida Gators. Brian Kelly leaves and goes to Notre Dame. It's a whole mess the whole time leading up to the game. And those guys in Cincinnati, I trained with them. They felt like if he stayed, they would have beat Florida. I disagree, but they had a better chance knowing their staff would still be intact.
But how many players nowadays go to a college or they go to play for a coach?
You go to play for a coach. There's no doubt about it. I just think you get sold on the college, but when you get there right away, you see life's about football and everything else comes after that. And that goes for all major sports. So you better like that coach and he better like you if you're going to stay there and play.
Okay, as a former defensive back and a well-decorated defensive back, Jaxson Dart is running down the sidelines, and you're taught to do what if you see him maybe kind of, sort of still in bounds?
Yeah, I mean, for one, what a hit last night. But the thing is, I was just talking about this earlier. You study film. So when you look at the film as a DB, as a linebacker, I would come into the game saying if Jaxson Dart's on the sideline, we need to be ready to go over there and take Jaxson Dart out because the film has showed us he's probably not stepping out of bounds. And me being in New England for 13 years, I'm pretty sure they went over that and said, when this guy gets on the sideline, don't break stride, don't slow down because he's probably not stepping out of bounds. And that's exactly what the play was last night.
But then after the game, he said, this is how I play. I'm going to continue to play this way. What advice would you give him, having witnessed that hit in person and having played, defensive back for 13 years?
I would tell him if he's really going to do that, I would tell him he's a damn fool. Like it's not going to last in the NFL. I think a part of that was I'm not going to back down. I'm going to say all of this. I do believe he's going to change some things up because I think even as a teammate, if I'm on the offensive line, my job is to protect you. I need you to help me protect you. I don't want to get fined and get 15-yard penalties because we're attacking guys for hitting you when you should just step out. So I do think he'll make the adjustment. He needs to be out there. I think the speed surprises him sometimes. He thinks he has a step, and then the next thing he knows, he's getting hit because these guys are a lot faster.
America seems in love with Drake Maye.
Everybody's
How does that
in
change?
Drake Maye.
How does that change? Where we've seen this with New England quarterbacks before, where hey, what a great story, and then all of a sudden they turn on you. How long does that last? Where Drake Maye and the Patriots playing this well that it's still a good story and everybody likes Drake Maye?
I think it lasts. I think that the unique thing about Drake Maye, I got to be up there doing the preseason games his rookie year, was this kid is the youngest of a bunch of brothers who were really good in sports. His brother Luke Maye won a national championship with North Carolina as a basketball player, and he talked about it. He's like, they used to beat me up. They used to punish me. They used to, like, everything was hard for him. And I think you can see his teammates love that about him. He's so poised, nothing bothers him. And I think the unique thing about Drake Maye is the same thing that Mac Jones had his rookie year is the offensive coordinator Josh McDaniels. And I think Josh will be there longer than just his rookie year, like Mac Jones had to go through. I think this is a great relationship, and I think he has a chance to be there for a while and develop Drake Maye. And I've talked to Josh; he's in love with Drake Maye just as much as the rest of us.
How threatening are the Patriots?
I think in a AFC this year where it's wide open, the Patriots are just as good as anybody. They have right now the best chance to me because being there last night, that atmosphere is different than even when I was there. When I was there, it was we're expected to be here. We'll show up in the AFC Championship and cheer. If the game's close, we'll go crazy and help you out. Being in that atmosphere after two bad seasons, you could see the fans were like, man, we thought we were gonna have to wait maybe 15 years to be good again. And their energy, the way they're showing up to the stadium early, staying the whole game, I think they feel like, hey, we got to give this team this boost because we had no idea we'd be this good right now.
Talking to Devin McCourty. He works for Football Night in America, three-time Super Bowl champ with the Patriots, three-time All-Pro. Football Night in America, they will give you the Texans and the Chiefs, and coverage starts at 7 Eastern. What advice would you give Drake Maye about playoff football as opposed to regular season football?
I would tell him exactly what I heard for 13 years. Belichick would come in and he would say, let me just dispel all these stupid myths out there. Like the whole experience matters. Experience doesn't matter at all. Who's playing the best football is what matters. And he would always tell us, do more, put everything else in the draw, watch the extra film, do all those little things. Because if you can play your best football, no matter if you're a rookie, first year, 12-year vet, no matter if you've played in the playoffs before, if you've never played in the playoffs, he would tell you if you go and play good ball, that's what determines your playoff journey. Not that you've played in 20 games or 10 games. No one cares about that, would be the first thing I told him.
Ever late for a meeting with the Patriots?
Nah, man, they cut people and sent people home in New England for being late. I wanted my money.
Wait, did you witness somebody getting cut?
Yeah, we had a guy who came late Saturday, my second or third year, and they didn't cut him that Saturday, but Tuesday after the Sunday game, he was inactive, and then that Tuesday he was gone. And I saw guys get sent home for being late all the time.
Who told us the story about they faked being in a car accident because they were going to be late with the Patriots? And do you remember that, Paulie?
We're checking.
Was that Scott Zolak or something? I forget who we had on.
That sounds like a Zolak story.
Yeah, because you had to have a good story, because if you didn't, you were going to be in trouble, and especially if you were a secondary guy on that team. I mean,
No
Paul.
doubt about it.
Dan, he told us a story. It was a former Patriots O-lineman, Rich Omberger. He said he intentionally got into an accident because he knew he was late, and he wanted a real excuse.
We had a guy, Kyle Arrington, it was snowed. His car couldn't get out of the parking lot. He hitchhiked to work just in fear of being late, went out on the road and stood there and asked somebody, hey, I play for the Patriots. You mind dropping me off the street at Patriot Place?
So the AFC is open right now, it feels like. And if the Patriots get the home field advantage, I don't think and the Chiefs don't make the playoffs, or the Ravens don't make the playoffs, or even if they do, doesn't feel like anybody scares them, including the Buffalo Bills, who they have coming up this next game.
Yeah, I think they already went to Buffalo and won. And I think right now they've gotten in this rhythm. And I think even going off last week, they go play Cincinnati, and it just felt like this past week Vrabel was just tearing into them. And I don't know that for sure, but the way they came out Monday night felt like it was a response to them feeling like they didn't play their best ball the week before in Cincinnati. And I remember being on those teams that made that run. It was all about after Thanksgiving. How did we just play our best football? We had seasons where we didn't give up a second half touchdown in games, from the second week in December all the way through winning a Super Bowl. Like those things that you can do and be special in, that makes a difference. And this team just feels like they're moving in that direction.
More concerned about the Chiefs or the Eagles?
I'm more concerned about the Eagles. I think for the Chiefs, the truth of the matter is everyone else around them just got better. I think this Chiefs team is actually better than the team last year that made it to the Super Bowl, but the Broncos are better, the Chargers are better, the Indianapolis Colts. Like you look at all these other teams that got better, the Eagles, to me, they're just underachieving. And I kind of was like, hey, don't get too concerned until last week when I watched Chicago beat Philly at what Philly does the best. Their defensive line, their front, they pushed them around. That was alarming for me, and I think they need to fix that right away.
Always good to talk to you. Thanks for joining us. Thank you, Devin.
Anytime, man. Good talking to you.
Devin McCourty, NBC Football Night in America, won 3 Super Bowls with the Patriots. They've got Texans, Chiefs. And those are two teams, it feels like one's going up the escalator and the other one's coming down. And we talked about this a few weeks ago. I said, keep an eye on the Texans because they are coming.